there anyone here who does not have the scripture? If you do, then the question you need to sometimes ask yourself is, why read it? Why read the word? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Elohim might come before you in the blessed name of Yeshua. And I want to give you honor and glory, first of all, for your presence here. We thank you. We thank you for having prepared the hearts to receive that which you have given us. As always, use your servant for your honor and glory. As you fill my mouth, I want no problem opening it for you. So, Father, glorify yourself in your people, and your servant may also be glorified. In Yeshua's mighty name. Say, why read the word? Why read the word? Please remain standing for the reading of God's word. Turn to Proverbs chapter 2. Proverbs chapter 2. Proverbs chapter 2. If you're there, say amen. Verses 1 through 6. My son, if thou wilt receive my word and hide my commandments with thee, thou shalt incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understand. Yea, if thou criest out after knowledge and lift up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as hidden treasure, then thou shalt understand the fear of the Lord and of Elohim, and find the knowledge of Elohim. And here it's actually Yahweh, gives wisdom out of his mouth, and cometh knowledge and understanding. So for the Yahweh giveth wisdom, out of his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. You may be seated, you may be seated, you may be seated. Why read the word? Well, first of all, before you can even read it, you got to receive it. Now, how do you receive the word if no one has ever given you a scripture or the word? You receive the word upon salvation. Why? Because Yeshua HaMashiach is the living word of God, or Elohim, or Yahweh. Okay? He is the living word. John 1:14, for the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. So you first receive, he says, my son, if thou wilt receive my words. When you get saved and you ask Yeshua to come into your heart, you have just received his words. Okay? So that's the first step, is to receive his words. Now, then you need to incline your ear unto wisdom and apply your new heart to understanding. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself doing the things of the flesh all the time. Okay? And remember, the old that passed away, you become a new. And therefore, the new you needs to do this. Okay? Now, if you cry out for knowledge and lift up your voice to understanding, but you also have to search for her as hidden treasure. Now, let me just share something with you. When you have this, and you begin to read it and dive into it, you need to search into it as though you're looking for hidden treasure. Amen. See, you can get people all over the world to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars looking for sunken ships, but you don't hear any of them trying to find a sunken Bible. Okay, and I mean the scriptures or the word. Okay, you don't see them looking for cases of sunken scriptures. Why? Because they have no value. Really? Really? You think that the gold that's down there has more value than this? Apparently they do. Okay, now listen to me very carefully. Yeshua made it quite clear that the mysteries of this word will be made known unto us. Those are the hidden treasures. All these mysteries that are in here, they're for you to dig in, go in, and get in, and get in. Now notice that something's kind of interesting. See, if you seek for her as silver, You have to seek. Why? Because Elohim says that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. Now see, people think that that means he's going to reward you financially. No, he's going to reward you with the hidden treasure. Oh, come on now. See, your spirit should have been doing cartwheels right here and about now. See, he's going to give you some of this good stuff that's in here so that you will be able to say, okay, what is Elohim saying? Aha, I've got that. To whom is he speaking? Oh, he's talking to me. Now, how do I apply it to my life? And now you have a usable piece of hidden treasure. Imagine what your life would be like if you actually understood the dynamics of the power of his name that is available to you. Should I repeat that? Imagine what your life would be like if you got a hold of the truth, of the dynamic of his power that's available to you right now. You would be a walking, talking, breathing, living, perfect example of him. You see, but we don't take the time to really understand. See, most people spend more time with their television than they spend with the Bible. And of course, for us, the scripture or the Old Testimony, the New Testimony, how do you want to, the New Covenant, the Old Covenant, how do you want to use it? Okay? And why is that? Because we really don't want to take the time to seek for these hidden treasures. And you know what? That's your doing. You can choose to do whatever you want to. And Yahweh, your Elohim, is not going to impose himself upon you. You do whatever you want. Okay? But listen to this. Okay? Verse number 6. For the Yahweh gives wisdom, out of his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. Now let me stop here for a moment and show you this. Okay? Now, I want you all, I've said this before, but for the purpose of our new guests, I'm going to say it again. The Bible, okay, the scriptures, the word, okay, is the only book, first of all, that is alive. Okay? Second of all, is the only book that is an autobiographical biography. Oh, come on now. I'm going to get hunky-dory and supercalifragilistic.
Go ahead.
Okay? If you think of an autobiography is a book written by someone about themselves. A biography is a book that's written by someone else about you. Okay? Now, in the beginning was what? The Word. Meaning what? The autobiography was already complete. But then he chose man to write his biography under the unction of the Ruach HaKodesh, so that they were able to now write down exactly what he wanted them to write down, so that we could be edified and he could be glorified. Oh, come on now, church. Let's get excited about what's going on here today.
Thank you.
Woo! Blessed be his holy name.
Thank you, Lord.
Blessed be his holy name. Listen to me very carefully. Out of his mouth comes wisdom.
Yes.
Now let's take that word and break it up into two syllables. W-I-S-D-O-M. Elohim is wise. That means that must be dumb. And it's true. See, because we dumb, when wise comes to us, we get wisdom. What does that mean? It's a covenant relationship. It's he imparting to you. It's his whiz and your dumb that put it together makes it his wisdom. That's exciting. I don't mind being dumb with him. He gonna show me something. I'll be dumb every day of the week. Yeah, give me some of that wise stuff. I'll be dumb. Okay. You looking for dumb? I'm here. See, we don't really want to take the time to realize that yeah, we dummies. Okay? Now, but listen to this. Out of his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. Out of his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. Where did this come from? His mouth. Which means it's our knowledge and our understanding. Now let me share something with you that's kind of interesting. Okay? Now, let's have some fun. Okay? When you have knowledge of something, it means you know. It means you know. When you understand it well enough to teach it, now you have the understanding of your knowledge. When you take the understanding of your knowledge and apply it to your life, now you're dealing in wisdom. Now you're dealing in wisdom. When you take the knowledge that's here, get its understanding and apply it to your life, now there's wisdom going on. Why? Because wise is here and now dumb is using what's wise.
That's right.
It's wisdom. Why read the word? Because it has everything you need for here and now and hereafter.
That's right.
It has everything we need for here and now and here. There isn't a single solitary circumstance that you will face in this lifetime that there is not an answer for it in here.
That's right. Thank you.
Come on now.
Thank you.
So why read the word
Thank you.
when you can spend 2 or 3 hours watching Oprah Winfrey? Or anybody else for that matter. Fox News, I don't care. You understand what I'm saying? The cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches have made you unfruitful. Why? Because you're not taking the time to look for the fruit that's in here. See, when you find the fruit in here, then what's going to happen? That fruit is going to be made manifest in your life, and the rest of the world will see the fruit that you have. And guess what they're going to come back and ask you for? A piece of that fruit.
Yes, Lord. Thank you.
And you better be ready to cut out a nice little slice of whatever it is. It may be a melon, it may be a peach, it may be an apple, it may be some grapes. I don't care what fruit you're giving away, as long as you got some fruit to give away that came out of the Word. That they may be glorified in Him, and they are edified through Him, that they may receive salvation. Especially if they don't know Him. How many of you know that we need salvation in the church?
That's right.
There are more people going to hell in the church than there are in the world. That shouldn't be going. And I'm talking about those in the world who claim to be Christians and are not. But those who are in the church claiming to be and are living otherwise? No. No. So why read the word? Because God gives you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I mean, can you imagine that in the beginning, God? In the beginning was. And we were still 6 days from getting here. We were still 6 days away. Okay. All right, turn to Matthew chapter 25. By the way, this could potentially become a 2 or 3 part series. Just putting that out there just in case it does happen. There aren't too many things in this life that I love, but I love to preach this word. Matthew 25, if you're 24, if you're there, say amen. You guys got that before. Praise the Lord. Okay. Chapter 24. Now go to verse 35. Verse 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. Why read the word? Why read the word? It's eternal. It'll take you with it. The word will take you with it. Why? Because the word here refers to the written word that you're supposed to read, plus the living word inside of you. Yeshua HaMashiach, and the Son of the living God. He sits at the right hand of power. He's not going to pass away. He already passed away once and he was resurrected. He's not going to do it again. Okay? So if he's not going to pass away, wouldn't it stand to reason that when we are where he is, we are now in eternity with him? He's already in eternity. It's our job to get there. See, so why read the word? Because this word is going to live throughout eternity. Do you know that when you get to the New Jerusalem, the word is there? Do you know the people that are in hell, the word is there? There's nowhere on all of creation where the word is not. Why? Because by him were all things made, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him is life, and life, the life is the life of man. That's what we're talking about right there. So wherever anything is, the word is. Oh, glory be to God. At the beginning was the word. At the end will still be the word. For all eternity, it's the word. It's alive and well. Read it. Read it. Spend time in it. Spend time with it. Spend time doing everything you need to do in the old covenant, in the new covenant. You know what? If you don't know where to start, just say, okay, I'm here and I've got this. Where do you want me to read? He'll tell you. He'll tell you. If not, let it flip open. It'll flip open exactly where he wants it. Okay? Listen. When the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding that we're going to get is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of him, because we were created in his image and in his likeness, that the world may now see him in you and therefore come to get to know him. See, the problem that we have is that we walk in the supermarkets, we walk in the store. Do you know that sometimes I walk into a store, and I remember I talked to this brother and he said, you know, I knew you were here. And I said, how? He said, when you walked in, I saw the light come through the door. I didn't see you, but there was a bright light coming through the door. I didn't even see that. But he knew I was there. That's the kind of stuff the world needs to see from all of us, especially our beautiful girls. Because they already have it.
That's right.
They already have it. Okay? Now, the covenant provides a historical past. It provides everything for the present, and it establishes itself in the future. Okay? So, the word gives us everything of a historical past up to the present, and it establishes itself in the present for the future. So it's all encompassing. There's nothing else about it. Okay? Now, let's go back to Proverbs chapter 1. Please. When you're there, say amen.
Amen.
Okay? Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know knowledge and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. Okay? To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. To know wisdom and instruction. How are you going to know wisdom and instruction if you don't read it? You've got to read it. You've got to sit down and digest it. Right, sis? You got to read it. You got to eat it. You got to live it. You got to breathe it. You got to dream it. You got to make it a complete part of you, so that it may make itself manifest in you. How else you going to get the mind of Christ if you don't know what he says, if you don't know how he thinks? All right. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Let's go to Romans 6. Okay? Now listen to this. Okay? This is really important because it's a critical part of what we read the word. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. How shall we then, who are dead in sin, live any longer therein. Know ye not that so many of us were baptized into Yeshua HaMashiach, were baptized into his death? Therefore we are buried with him by baptism unto death, that like HaMashiach was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so should also we walk in the newness of life. For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall also in the likeness of his resurrection, knowing this, that our man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed. Henceforth we should not serve sin, for he that is dead is free from sin. Now I want you to understand something. This is one of the most beautiful passages of scripture that we need to read, that lets us know that every one of us who's here right now is dead, or should be dead. See, if your flesh is still alive somewhere, don't worry. We have a gun next door, we can shoot it. It's a Holy Spirit gun. It's a Holy Ghost gun. Okay? Now, what I'm saying by that is you need to establish yourself in the reading of the Word, that you may understand the love of the Father, okay, which allows you to establish a one-on-one relationship with the love of the Father. And in the love of the Father, you'll get to know the moral standard of the Father. Once you understand the moral standard of the Father, you will know what to do so that you no longer are found in sin. And because he already gave us an example of Yeshua HaMashiach going to the cross, we could then take our rightful place in him. So therefore we are crucified in him. Oh, glory be to him. Because we're crucified in him, our flesh is dead, he is alive, and there's no sin in our life. Not because of anything we're doing, because of everything that was already done. See, that's a little hidden treasure in here that allows you to live like you're supposed to. Okay? Remember Galatians 2:20, for I am crucified with Christ, yet I live, but not I, but Christ that lives within me. Yet the life that I now live, I live by the Son of Man, who loves me and gave himself for me. Come on now. Okay? So if you are crucified with him, why are you still alive? And I don't mean in the flesh, I mean in the spirit. You are very much alive in the flesh, but you should be dead in the flesh, that your spirit may live. That your spirit may live. Come on now. See, the reading of the Word, when you actually read the Word, let me tell you something. If you read the Word, I promise you, you're going to come on a verse of Scripture that will stop you and begin to minister to you. Specifically to some area in your life, some area about you, something that he may want you to know, something that you may need in the future. It doesn't matter. When the Word begins to minister to you, stop and meditate on that specific verse until you get the significance of what he has for you there.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's how you grow in him. That's how you grow in the vine. And when you grow enough, guess what? You're strong enough to now hold a piece of fruit. How many of us here are fruitless right now? Don't raise your hands. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? Turn to the Gospel of Mark. Turn to the Gospel of Mark. Why read the Word? Oh, we're going to get all kinds of answers. Mark chapter 8. You're there, say amen. See, this time I waited until I got there. There you go. So this way you don't get there before. Now, Mark chapter 8. Okay. Verses 36 and 37. 36 and 37. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words. Warning! Whosoever shall be ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father and with his holy angels. Let me ask you a question. Are you not reading this word because you're ashamed of it? Only you can answer that. I will hope beyond hope That's not the case. Please tell me you're not reading it because you're lazy. I can live with that. But if you are ashamed of him and of this word, I will guarantee you that you have already established yourself. This is a stern warning. When you read this word, make sure that you embrace it, make sure that you love it, make sure that you study it, make sure that you understand it, and then once you have all those things within your heart, then make sure you share him with someone else. Make sure that you do. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Elohim, okay, in your mind would allow his will to be done so that you can establish yourself in love. Okay? So if you really think about that, what is the reading of the word doing? It is actually establishing your soul. It is establishing your soul. So the soul is your mind. Okay? And in some cases it's mind over matter. With their mind, it really doesn't matter. That's why they need salvation.
That's right.
Okay? So think of this. You get in your mind, your soul, right? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Elohim that now allows his will to be done in you. Once that begins to happen, right? Because remember, you have the mind, the will, and the emotion. As his will is being done, it can only be done in an emotion of love. Why? Because you have to love what you're doing. By the love relationship you have with him. So you're established in love, the will's being done, and you treat this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to get this done for him. How wonderful. You really need to read the word. Go to the Gospel of John. Chapter 16. They were little, they were little. So we get a hold of this section. Chapter 16. Verse number 13. Howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth, for he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come. Now, do you realize the importance of the Ruach HaKodesh? See, it's not just enough for you to get saved and receive Yeshua HaMashiach as your Savior. That's step number one. Step number two is to be baptized in him, into his death, that the Spirit may now live. When you receive the Spirit. Now this is very, very important, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay? When you read verse 3, howbeit when the Spirit of truth, do you realize that what that's saying is that everything that's in here is the Spirit of truth. Everything that's in here is the Spirit of truth. Okay? Now listen to this. And he will be your guide into all truth. Oh, get a hold of that. He will be your guide into all truth. Meaning what? When you read, when you study, when you understand, he will guide you to show you. He will guide you to show you what the mysteries are you need to know for this moment in time. He will give you the things that you need for whatever the circumstances are. He will give you everything you need for whatever's going on in your life right now, even if it means he has to do something for you in order for you to get your classes.
Awesome. Thank you, Lord.
That was him working.
Thank you, Lord.
You understand what I'm saying? All because we've taken the time to read the Word. All we've done is read the Word. There are no detriments in reading this Word. You will benefit in more ways than one. Okay? Go to Galatians 5. And here's the best part about it too. The Ruach HaKodesh will only speak the things that he hears, which means what all he can speak is truth. He will never lie to you. And he will also speak to you of things to come, which means what? He gives you revelation of revelations. He gives you the revelation of revelation. Oh, you guys missed the whole chance to yell happy hallelujah. Oh, glory. Glory. Galatians 5. Galatians 5. Now listen to this. 24 and 25. And they that are in Christ have crucified the flesh with the afflictions and the lust. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Okay? Now we already know what the Spirit's going to do for us, so why don't we just let Him do it? We just read what the Spirit's going to do for us. Why don't we let Him do it? Because we're too busy being carnal. Don't get mad at me because I'm telling you the truth. You know how I know? Don't you remember I told you I used to be a really good heathen? Okay? We need to understand that the Spirit is established in us, the Ruach, so that we can actually live a life that is pleasing to Him. That's the whole purpose of the Ruach HaKodesh, is to establish us in such a way that we live this life in a manner that is pleasing to Him. That's it. This is why you notice that John the Baptist baptized Yeshua, and then the Spirit came down like a dove. And if you flip a whole bunch of chapters later, he said, "For I always do the things that please Him." Meaning what? He was being led of the Spirit, so his end result was nothing more than what pleased the Father. So the question yet arises, are you letting the Holy Spirit lead? He is your guide. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Are you before or after the guide? You're after the guide. The guide leads the way. Okay? Now let me show you something kind of interesting. If you pick up your cross and follow Him, who's guiding you then? Yeshua. Right? Right?
Yes.
So then, how could then the Spirit be your guide? He's within you. He's within you. He recognizes the one in front of you. He knows you're on the straight and narrow. He knows you are where you need to be. He knows He has gifts and talents ready to put to use whenever you're ready to make them work for you. He knows that He will activate His faith with your faith to make the things of God come to pass in your life. He knows everything He needs to know about the Word, about the one before you, about the one sitting in the heavens, or in the Shamaim, so that you can accomplish the perfect will of God for your life here without any excuses. You don't have any excuses. Woo! You guys know I'm having fun right about now, yeah?
Thank you.
Glory.
Thank you, Lord.
Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. In case you guys are wondering, the enemy's been trying to get at my voice for the last 3 days. Remember when I told you that praise and worship is not about how you sound?
That's right.
Now, I should have given all of you some of these today, but I was off it. I couldn't hold a tune to save my life. Oh! I sounded like a dog getting run over by a truck. But I want you to understand something. My heart, the worship that went up was pure. And that's what He received. Not the sound that sounded like a dog getting run over by a truck. Why? Because worship is about your heart. 1 Corinthians 10. Oh, we're about about to get deep here now. First Corinthians 10, and go to verse 11. Woo! Verse 11 of 1 Corinthians 10. Now all things happen unto them for the ensample, and they that are written for the dominion upon the world and the end to come. Right? Yeah? Okay. Now, all things happen unto them for examples, and they are written for admonition upon whom the end of the world should come. All things that happen are for examples, and they are written. Okay? Now, where are they written for your example? Where are they written? They're written in the Word. They're written in the Word. Now let me ask you a question. How could you know what is written or the examples if you don't read the Word? Okay? Now, I want you to understand something that's really, really, really critical. The Spirit which you have been given searches the deep things of God, which means it knows all the mysteries, it knows all the hidden things that are here, but it goes and it searches the deep things of God. Where does it search them? It searches them in your soul so it can bring them to your remembrance. But how can it bring you things into remembrance when every time it goes into search, it says it doesn't compute? Empty folder, nothing here. You can't find, we ain't got nothing. Because you haven't read the Word. You got to put something in there for the Holy Spirit to be able to go down, or the Ruach HaKodesh, and bring it back to your remembrance. You can't remember anything you haven't read. How many of you have read the Bible cover to cover? Don't raise your hand. How could you possibly know what's in here if you haven't read it? How's the Spirit going to be able to bring something to you for that situation right here and now if you haven't read it? How are you going to be able to give counsel to someone if you don't even know what it says regarding that matter? Oh, come on now. Let's have some fun. I know I am. Do you understand what I'm saying? How critical it is for us to really, really, really spend one-on-one time just reading the Word. And let me tell you, there are times when you're going to read something and you're not going to understand it. Read it anyway. You know why? Because when the time comes, you're going to read it and the revelation is going to come. Why? Because the first time you read it, you weren't ready for the revelation. Now the time is at hand when you're ready to receive it, and when you reread it, it's given to you then. See, He's not going to give you anything more than you can handle. He's going to give you anything in this Word that you can handle. And if you don't read it, you're not going to handle anything about it. You got to be able to read it and understand it. See, this is why wisdom, knowledge, and understanding are so critical. And the only way you get it is by spending time in the Word. You have to spend time in the Word. There's no getting around it. There's no getting around it. There's no getting around it. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop it here. I'm actually going to stop it right here. So part 2 start. And I'm going to tell you why. You have enough right now to go home to. Okay? So really go over a lot of things. Now, for those of you who have photogenic memories, make sure you go home and write down the scriptures before you forget. For those of you who don't have photogenic memories, wait about a week and then it will show up on the website. You understand what I'm saying? Time has come for us to do 3, 4 things. And I'm going to say this again. Read the Word. Fast, pray, and obey. 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 Father, we come before you in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach by the Ruach HaKodesh to give you all the glory and all the honor you so rightfully deserve for having spent this time here with us. We want to thank you for giving us just a little glimpse of all the wonderful things that you're going to give us as we get together with you to read your word. We want to give you honor and glory also for allowing us to come before you today. And I want to thank you in advance, not only for our guests receiving a blessing from the entire offering that's collected, but those who are here, Father God, I thank you for blessing them. It was you who said, freely give, for freely you have received, and we bring it back to you that it may honor you, glorify you, and use this money for your honor and glory. I want to thank you, Father God, for having poured out the Ruach to all your people here. And when they go ahead and read, make your living word not only minister to them, but let it take root, deep root in their heart, that it may never be separated from them. And for this, I give you all the honor and all the glory in Yeshua HaMashiach's mighty name. And all of God's people said, Amen. Amen.